What's up, guys? It's the new sensation, BigGNotation here, but the real new sensation. We got the BigGNotation here. Come on now, Giovanni Castellan. How you doing today?
Very good, very good. Very happy with how the weekend went, so can't complain.
Hell yeah! And you managed to do what this weekend?
Well, we topped the European Championship, so with Nuova, so I'm quite happy.
Hell yeah.
Shadow Dragon leader, so it means a lot to me.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, I've lost the top 8 match, but up until then wasn't really. The deck performed very well. Was very happy about it. And
yeah, absolutely.
so yeah.
You are the master of the Shadow Dragons and now the highest placing Shadow Dragon player in T-2.
That's right.
Off the back of the last event.
Absolutely.
And your build of Nuova is a pretty interesting one as well. A pretty spicy one, some might say.
So we are both, me and you are very good fans of Shadow Dragon. So when we saw the reveals of set 25, we were quite excited, starting with a new leader and a new Unison. That was quite a lot. So I got very excited. I thought the Saint Sharon, the old BT10 leader, could come back. But yeah, still too old, I can't do it. And so with the new Shadow Dragon support, it's obviously very good, but it's very limited to the 2 new archetypes.
Yeah.
And so we have a look at Nova, and you and I sat down together. You figured out a nice chain, different from what the regular Nova deck tries to do.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you get to these type of finals, this type of events, big events, the surprise factor is a massive thing.
100%.
Because obviously everyone is tested against Kitku, everyone is tested against Nuova or Z-Unison and everything. So if you bring something new to the table, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, catching people off guard is a huge thing in these kind of big
events. In fact,
events.
the top 8 is very, very interesting here in Europe. So
yeah,
it was very interesting. So and that's all about the surprise factor, I think.
100%.
A lot of people, when you sit down, especially this type of level, and after you spend months testing with those decks, you had to sit down and start reading cards because you've never seen this thing before, or you were not expecting certain things. That can throw you off guards, obviously, and it's the best of 1 format. So, if you only need to win the first match, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that we're both big fans of the Shadow Dragons, especially the Aggro Shadow Dragons. So we really wanted to make an aggressively slanted Nuova build, which I think...
This deck really brought back memories from set 10.
Those turn 3 kills.
When you were sitting down, they were seeing your leader, how you play control scene, and you were like, yep, that's right. And they were dead by turn 3, turn 4. So yeah, that were good days. Good days.
That's what you want, man. Well, yeah, if you want to get into the deck profile, you can go over your list.
This is the leader. I'm sure that everyone knows. Like, you can attack. You can add one yellow card from your hand to your Z energy. You rest it, and you look at the top 5 for the Shadow Dragons, and you can awaken at 4 lives or with a Unison cost of 1 in play. And once you awaken, once per turn you draw on combo, and it's got the activate battle. You can tap 1 energy to choose 1 card in your combo area. That's a power of 1. So normally the Shadow Balls, and you play from drop or hand the correspective dragon with skill negated for the game. It comes out sometimes, especially when I need for something to sacrifice to send to drop for the Omega Life Absorb, and it's got a cheeky attack in. It does come up. It's good. But the second skill, which is the main thing of this deck, is you can place 2 of your Z energy in the drop. You select a dragon in X Evolve, and you withstand it. Once per turn, obviously. And this is actually main of battle. Even the fact that it's battle is really important because it can be done in your opponent's turn as well. And so we can move to the deck now. And obviously you've got a suit of bolts, which this deck is different because we don't play the control scene type of change. We play the full suit of the Haze, negative 2-star ball, 2 of the Nuova, the 4-star balls, and 1 Ace. Obviously, Ace acts like I basically never use as a counterplays. Can happen, but I very rarely pass with 2 energy up.
Yeah.
So this is most likely acts as a fifth 2-star bolts, because I really need to have it by turn one. I absolutely, for this deck to do what it does, to be different, it really needs to start with the two drop star bolts. It happens that sometimes you start with 4. It's still good. It's the free to Nuova from the drop, from the deck, and so this can also be good. But what makes it so oppressive is this.
Yeah,
and
you have a lot of ways to search it as well, with like the leader skill and
leader. You've got, obviously you kind of want to do it. We got the mulligan. Obviously, you want to do it turn one. Obviously, you either search for this or that. So you got 5 cards. Obviously the deck is run at 52 cards because it has to be consistent. Originally we wanted it at 50, but 50 cards in this deck makes it really weird to side cards in and out without obviously altering the numbers of shadow dragons in your deck.
Yeah.
So those 2 extra cards, there are 2 extra cards, the extra slots that I put in, makes siding in and out easier. So the 2-star bolt brings in Ace, which is this guy. I play 3 copies. Sometimes I side out the 3rd one if I really need to go heavy on my side deck for certain matchups. But again, as I said, this deck is different, and I absolutely need to see the pieces. And I don't want to have 1 haze in hand, 1 haze in life, and I cannot do this one. So I need at least 1 that I need to see it. So that's why I opted for 3.
Yeah.
It comes in for 1 energy from this one, from the deck or hand, and is a critical, 15k. And on play, I can add a Shadow Dragon 4 or less from my drop to my hand. And can EX evolve with his Venomous Mist. And this guy is the heart and soul of the deck. If they is a really broken card for Shadow Dragon, catches people off guard because they combo everything on a battle card. It's got cost greater of the energy. Combo this one from hand. It's got a Shadow Dragon and you KO it. And is a big defense for this deck. So we don't really need to go heavy on obviously floodgates and stuff, because we can sit on 1 haze, and then it's very scary for your opponent. It makes it really play weirdly and not swingy or not comboing too much in some big battle card swings. So at that point, you can just combo out those one and keep the ace for the next turn. And the main thing is this guy's a double strike 20k, but most importantly is an X evolve. After you attack with this one, you X evolve on top of it, and it comes in Axie mode. And he is one of the targets for the leader to withstand. And on attack and on combo, I can choose a battle card in rest mode, discard a Shadow Dragon, and if it's got the cost greater of the energy, you KO it.
Yeah, and you're starting to see there's like this very cheap chain of a lot of very quick hitters that are coming in with this haze chain.
I show the chain at the end. I finish here now as soon as I say the Omega, and but yeah, it's very scary.
And I remember as well, you played a similar list in the online regionals, right? For
I did.
Raid and Trade.
That was because we kind of figured out the deck very early. It was like about wouldn't say after the reveals, but kind of a few weeks after. So it was still September, and I wasn't Kid Cool like everyone else. And I played this deck, and I realized after a few games that this is what pick for finals. I absolutely need to play this deck because surprise factor, no one will see it coming, and it's just that good. And plus the Shadow Dragon, I've always played it. It feels natural to me. It was just the right choice. So from end of September to now, I've been tinkering with type of cards, type of strategies, something to implement the Z-Unison package, or as I said, try instead of the 2 Nuova balls, try the scene package, so 2 balls of scene and the 4 drop, just to see how it feels. But at the end, I think this is the list that I felt more comfortable. The mode, it can face obviously 8 round switch, so you never know where you can go against. So it's good to have a deck that is balanced, that can face different opponents basically, not just like focusing one strategy, I guess. And that's why I like this one, because it's aggro, but it can turn to a sort of like mid-range. Like I don't need to kill people by turn 3 basically.
Yeah.
I can sit around and do my, control Shadow Dragon things. And but the pressure that puts at the beginning, that what tilts the game in your favor, because obviously your opponent goes down to life so quickly that from then on every attack can kill them. So they have to play in a certain way. They have to be more defensive. They can't just go all out, otherwise they get punished. And so yeah, it's a very scary deck, I would say. Then for the tool balls, we have a full suit of Nova Sharon, and I like this card. I really like it. It's a cheap 1-drop. It cost is reduced if you need a Shadow Dragon, which it is, and when it's in active mode, it's got barrier. So this is good into the Kid Luku matchup, because you got a Shadow Dragon down that they cannot target with ult. And if it swings, limit 1, burst 1, and it gets double strike 5k, but most importantly, it can KO a battle card cost 4 or less in rest mode, which is really good in this type of decks because Shadow Dragons never had good removals, and this is like, it's removal, so I'll take it, absolutely. And then it's a piece to center the drop with the Omega again, so we like that even more. This card, another great inclusion to the deck. Another Nuova 4-drop dual attack blocker. On play, it can rest battle card or Unison, and it's got the active main battle that it can be played from under the Z extra. And on play, draw 1, and is a blocker, so it's really good. Then the 3 copies of the other guy, which is another small targets, which is the airdrop Nova. He evolves on top of this one, so you swing the first one with this one, you can do Dragon Thunder or anything, and then you evolve it on top of it for 1 yellow energy, and you draw 2 cards. On attack, you KO 1 card, 1 battle card, and if that battle card was in rest mode, you can withstand it. And then if it dies by skill, you can bring back the drop.
Yeah, and then running that the 2-drop Nuova really increases the potency of that 8-drop, because if it dies, then you're getting another free attack out of it next turn, just from playing this.
It's really
this 2-drop.
Bring back the balls. Worst case is the 5k combo power. We'll take that. But again, and then you can bring this one out for the deck. So it's good. I like it. It's very impressive and good. And again, as I said, it's a X-Evolve target, so potentially it can attack 3 times. So it's a 30k attacking 3 times is good. Very good pressure. And for Oceanus is a very interesting card. Obviously, I need to run a 4 because I absolutely need this deck to be consistent. I need to find the pieces. The problem is that it bursts 1 on active main, and it happens a few times that I burst my secret with that. But that's another story. And burst 1, look at the top 5 for the Shadow Dragons, 8 or less, yellow, and add it to hand. Fixes your drops and increase the numbers of Shadow Dragons in your drop, which is good for a triple strike. And very rarely happens, but it's got the other skill, which is a blocker barrier. And on attack, I can rest a battle card. If it's 2 or less, we KO it. And this is the base package, I would say. And from this one, obviously, we move to the big ones, which are another good guy is Omega Shenron Allies Absorbs. Again, this is the boss deck, the boss monster of the deck, and absolutely need to play a 4. Control version can play in less than that. I understand that it's not really that important, but we need it because tap 1 yellow, unique, obviously. Tap 1 yellow, center to drop a Shadow Dragon 4 or less, and play this card and draw 1. Then activate main. I can add a life if I want to when I do it. And I choose a Shadow Dragon, cost between 2 and 4. There isn't a Sin Sharon, and it gets the skill until the end of the opponent's next turn. And 99% of the time, we copy haze. So these guys will become a double strike, 30k with the same skill on attack to KO something rest mode. But most importantly, it will become an X evolve, which means that we can restand it with leader. So turn 1, 2-star balls, turn 2, Unison, play this one, and we start attacking. So first attack with 15, second evolve, restand, second attack with a 20, sack this guy to bring out this one, copy this guy, 30k going in. At some point, obviously you combo from under the Z extra, and you charge that Z extra, you have 2 Z extra at that point, you suck the 2 Z extra and you restand this guy. And you go in again for 30k double strike. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks going in, and then obviously you got Unison and leader, and it's turn 1 for your opponent if you go first. So your opponent's got 1 energy, and most likely they're down to 2 to 4 lives. So and from that point on, they're dead to any attack. They have to play very defensively. They have to be careful what they do. Otherwise, they get severely punished, because on the turn after, for when we got 3 energy, we can drop the ultimate Shadow Dragons, which is the triple strike. At this point, by all of these, we've got balls in the drop, we've got haze, we've got other stuff. We can have an Oceanus and the card that you mill. So at some point, we are like around 5 and 6 Shadow Dragons, so we can start comboing something and get to 7, and we can drop this, because we need to warp 7 Shadow Dragons from the drop to bring it out, draw 1, that is a triple strike. And it's got unique and not limit 1, because another funny thing is that when we get to turn 4, we bring out 1 8-drop, we attack with it, then if the opponent is still alive, we drop a successor on top of it, make your opponent discard 2 or whatever, and then we can play a second one, because again, it's not limit 1, it's just unique. As long as we get rid of it with the successor, then we can play another one at the same turn.
So once you're hitting like turn 3, turn 4, you're just smashing with 30k, 35k doubles and triples all day.
There are so many big attacks, and we're not using combo power. We're not using it, like very little energy, but we're just swinging for 30k and leaving it there. So our hand is a decent size. We're not using any resources. We get advantage on our opponent's turn when we combo from the Unison from under the Z extra. So we draw cards, we control the board, and we don't really need to combo on top of it, unless obviously we're going for game. So yeah, and this is another good card that came in the new set. You like it at 4, I know that. I don't. Sometimes I side out 1 copy, because it's an incredibly good card, really good. For 1 energy successor 8, perfect number, and you drop it out, and you can choose either to double strike and make your opponent discard 2, or KO 2 cards in rest mode in your barrier and give it dual attack. And this is probably the skill that I've done the most yesterday, because again, you put in your opponent in such a weird position that is more threatening to have a 35k dual attack, than having a double strike but single attack and discard 2. And yeah, I won so many games, just literally opponent was sitting in 1 life, make it dual attack, 35k no combo, 35k no combo, and my opponent was just literally losing his whole hand, and I was doing like nothing. And so yeah, that's basically, again, you like it at 3, at 4, I don't like it because it's a multicolor card, so we cannot charge it. It's a combo cost of 1, so we cannot combo it. And if I see 2 of them early game, they're bricks. Again, cannot charge them, cannot combo them. Yes, I can put them under the Z extra, and it's helpful because I'm basically having a free super combo because it's a 10k. So I combo it with that one, and I get out of a big attack, and I can potentially save a Unison, because a Unison is 10k, and it becomes a 20k with this one. So the opponent has to invest more resources to remove a marker. So I'm happy either way. I just drew a card and you losing a card. So I'm fine with that. And this is basically the whole deck in terms of Shadow Dragons. And very happy with it, with the ratio as well. As I said, maybe you could remove an ace, maybe you can cut this one, but it has to be consistent because this deck is scary only when it does this turn 1 and this turn 2, going first. And I have to see the pieces, so that's why we play Oceanus again. That's why we want to do the Nova.
And that's why we've got to keep it low deck count.
Exactly.
None of that 60 card Nuova.
That's why, yeah, exactly. That's why it has, at the beginning it was 50, and it was incredibly consistent. Up into 52, and it did happen sometimes that I either didn't see this ball that I had to play this one, or like I didn't see this one turn 2. But you can still do something. Obviously, the massive thing of this deck is that, and you want to do that because that's what makes it different. But never, it doesn't happen every time, but it's really, really consistent. And that's why 152 maximum is already too much for me, but it has to be like that because otherwise side deck is terrible. And we just keep it like that. Really happy with it. Triple strike at 3, could be a 4 because you really want to see it early, but you search it by turn 3 or 4, you draw a lot of cards, it comes out. Like same for this. And again, this one 3, sided out one of them in some matchups. If they go too aggro at you, you don't want to have bricks in hand. Because again, if I have 2 of these in my opening hand, is a very bad game. Very bad. Cannot charge it. I have to use it with my Z charger with my leader or tack it under the Unison, but that obviously requires a turn or 2. So I got rid of one, I got the other one still in my hand. 3 is fine. Incredible card. I don't need it to win the game. 1 is enough. I only drop 1 per game if I drop it. No more than that. Happy with that. Yeah, that was the Shadow Dragon package. And now we do the utility, I'll say. So this
is the spice. This is the
well, it's a good card. I tested it for a month with I have it here, I think, with the Art of Vegeta, the counterplay, because I think I've got the cards from testing here. We came prepared. We got everything. Yeah, that's it. So I got it with me just in case last night change it. I tested for a month with this one because the Unison is so easy to get it down. He always had 2 markers, and if you swing at it, so be it. It means that I'm not gonna die. And this is good because it's such an underrated counterplay. Probably the only free one left, I guess. They're all banned or limited. So, but it does a good job. Your opponent is investing resources to drop a card. If it doesn't have deflect, he enters in rest mode. This was saving me, for example, with the 5-drop Kidku that it was bringing in the SR and the skillets at the same time. So I was just counterplay with this one and they both enter in rest mode. So that saves me 2 attacks. But then at the end, this one was more, it doesn't require Unison. It's more, you can use it anytime. It's a worst case if you got 3 Z energy. For 1 energy is a 20k dual attack. The rest on attack. And it didn't come out yesterday, but it came up in testing a lot. Yesterday was mostly literally my opponent's just win game. Maybe it's got a Unison, it's got a leader. It mis-sequenced the attacks, and I just combo this one, rest the Unison, or rest the dual attack, because when you charge it, the dual attack triggers first, and then you can rest it. And it's definitely a better card. It's more versatile at least. It gets you out of tricky situation. Then we have, super combos. 3 Hercule. I think it's the right super combo because, as I said, we're going very aggro. So your opponent is cleaning your board most of the time. So they leave you a high life. So this is correct one, I think. But against Kidku, I think I would really love to have Krillin, to be honest. It's because he attacks you for 30k and you just have to combo 1 just so you can have 2 Z energy. I don't know, but this is the correct super combo, 100%. But in some matchup against Kiku, for example, you go down to 4 lives so quickly that probably Creative will be better. And obviously, you know, we are an aggro deck. We do love a free secret rare, 30k boosts.
Makes the triple strike 60k swing.
Yeah, for literally no investment, because 30k combo, I draw 1 for leader because I combo a yellow card. So yeah, good luck, I guess. And on play, obviously, you know, on play, on attack, you draw 1 and you rest something.
And it can also be another free defensive option, which you've got a bunch of in this deck now.
A lot of people, when they know that they're dead next turn, they go in for game. And yeah, because if you sequence it properly, they should have used all their energy and leader or something. So they must have 5 cards in rest mode. So at least you drop it. No other secret. In this type of deck, this is the secret, no doubt about it. You could try with the Gogeta, but we're not going to tap 4 to do... No. This is definitely the correct secret. And 1 Overreal. Again, I was playing the Black Vegeta, the 30k, the Warps 1, because when you get to late game, or even at the beginning, the only thing that can stop you is a token negate, so you don't really need to clear the board. But yeah, for yellow, this is better. You can clear more threats, because again, we don't really have a way to control the opponent's board. Another thing that I found out during testing, obviously people are siding Violent Ray against you. Yeah. So 30k or more cannot attack. And these guys are 25k. So yeah, that's good. Violent Ray is a weird card because it should work good with this deck, but it doesn't, because if you Violent Ray the triple strike, I've already attacked with it. And then I start playing the 4-drop Nuova, and I start attacking with the 4 drops.
And you've got the Vegeta as well.
I can do the Vegeta, I can do my leader skill to bring back an attacker with when I combo a ball. And so Violent Ray is okay. And then after this, we've got the extra cards, which are negates, obviously. Sparkling, because we use our energy all offensively. And at the beginning, I started 3 of these, but the token negates these days doesn't last long.
Yeah.
So this was a side deck option, obviously. So I decided to up it to main and run it like this. It's fine. And the other 2 cards that I added to the list is meant to be again in the side deck, but I decided to do a 52 cards deck, which was Dragon Thunder, and really good against the Kid matchup. This card is your saving grace if you go second, because obviously they're going to drop the waters and start awakening, and you're basically facing a 6 lives leader, which is a 15k. And this one blanks the A card. If you pay the energy, it blanks A card in the battle area, which is the Z extra. And it happened yesterday that it won me a game, which I went in with triple strike, and then I dropped this one, blanked the water, and it was a 2 lives. So it couldn't use the water. So yeah, I killed it like that, basically. Yeah, obviously, again, as I said, Sparkling negates, Time Magic. Really good, really good, because it can stop dual attackers. It can stop any big threats. Against Nameku, for example, I was using it on the 4-drop Goku that can restand on my turn, and it give you a blocker basically. So he's a dual attacker potentially. So I stopped it, and he would not withstand on my turn. Really can also do that.
Yeah, very relevant skill there for Time Magic.
So that was the deck. And Z deck. Haze, not a good inclusion for the same sets. On play and on attack, we can rest a battle card or Unison. Really good. And sometimes it happened that I didn't play it much, but he also has the other skill that when I combo from under the Z extra, I can replace that card that I've just used with one from the drop. And when you are in late game, that you're running out of cards from under the Z extra, is really good. And it also fixes your drop against red, for example, because you can take a 30k from your drop, put it under the Z extra, and you can use it next turn to combo it, so you've got a 30k when you're swinging under explosive dance. and it's a really good card, utility card. Go on the Piccolo Secret Rare Best Friend. Oolong. Crazy card. We love to finish end game like this one. As I said, I've got bigger attackers anyway. And from one energy, I drop another 30, 35, 40k. And I'm not using resources, I'm not comboing. And yeah, it's all of my opponents. And then another Z battle that is really good. It came up a lot in testing is this Goku. I'm not playing any other Z battle card because as an aggro deck, we need energy. And playing, for example, the Vegeta, the SS3 Vegeta, the cost 3, it was too much. 3 energy for a card that doesn't really end you the game is too much. I like the Goku is board control because I clear 2 cards in rest mode. It gets critical and barrier if your opponent's got 5 cards in rest mode, which is normally when you drop it. And it gets a boost of 5k and KO card in rest mode. Dual attack, so it becomes 15 and 20k crit in 2 swings. Good pressure, I like it. As I said, we need energy. We got 30k's coming down, we need energy. I can't have any other Z battle cards, unfortunately. Z-Unison. When they revealed this card, we were so upset.
We had some angry words.
Sharon is 1 card away to the old leader to be a really broken deck. Is incredibly bad making Z energy. So all he needed was a card that, like there is, every color's got it. On attack, combo with something for your drop. So you can Z charge it didn't cost you anything, you Z charge it. So when we saw the auto, that when a player attack, you can combo with something, we were just like, yeah, that's it. But it wasn't it, because this Unison is really good just in Nuova. It's a 5k Unison, fair enough, there's a 1-drop, but 5k Unison, very flimsy. +1, you can tack Shadow Dragons under the Z extra, and you draw 1, and it gets a boost of 5k until the end of your opponent's turn. And then on each of players' attack, once per turn, you can combo with that dragon from under the Z extra, that's the Z extra. And we don't really pay it for this one because you can only have 1 copy, and we just bring it out when we awaken. And when we place this one on your battle area, you take up to 7 balls from your deck or drop and tack it under. So normally we have 4, 5 obviously is a good number, and there's the way obviously to replenish it with Ace or the Unison. But you know, it really happened that I ran out of cards under. It's really good on that reason.
Yeah, you don't need so many balls to get tucked under because you're not trying to play the long game, right?
Obviously, if you have 2, that's really bad. But if you have like 3 or 4, it's still fine.
And something else that's great about this version of the deck is it's an aggro deck that's taking out all of the low end cards,
making it more consistent.
And it's so consistent. Once you hit like turn 3, turn 4, you're just drawing bombs every single turn, triple strike, the successor, everything. And
you kind of want to hold the Oceanus as well. Like you do the leader skill first, then you awaken, you take the balls out, and then you do the Oceanus in case one of the pieces are missing. And another skill, really good, activate main, tap 4, rest 2 of your opponent cards, which normally they are energies. And I won game by just like starting my turn, 5 energy, tap 4, rest the 2 energy, drop the triple strike, and just going in for game. It's really good for that. We are aggro, so we play the other Zeke extra. It's a free 10k for if you drop 1 Z extra. I never done it, never had the need to do it, even when I was getting rid of this one. Never had the need to use it yesterday, but I still want it. There are some games that this card is really important. And nice spots that I don't want to change. Happy with this one. The 10th spot was this one.
The black smoke.
Never played it. It was like just in case I'm scared of something, I want to give barrier to the triple strike. Some sort of protection, but again, never play it. Other option were the Goku, which I think I have it here. This Goku, and in really like emergency cases, like just tapping 4, dropping this one, clear the opponent's board, and then going in for a -3, 25k double strike. in case I need it. But this is probably more safe. You very unlikely going to do any of this. So, it doesn't really matter. And yeah, Z deck. And now side deck. So these are the battle cards that I'm playing. Not many, because we don't want to disrupt the Shadow Dragon counts. So Heavenly Wizard, obviously, for the Vegito matchup, for the Shadow Dragons matchup, Oceanus, Koitsukai, because it's just Koitsukai. So, any deck that plays cards in your turn, like that. Great 8 for Kiku. At the beginning, I was playing 3 because it's good. I felt confident, at least tapping out and staying at 6 energy, because I know that my opponent is not going to swing a lot, and I can combo out certain attacks, so it was good.
And you got Haze and Dragon Thunder,
I've got
lots
Haze,
of free defense.
I've got the combo, all the things, the Vegeta that I can rest another attacker. So I felt confident tapping out against Kitku when I was dropping this one. But then I started seeing some of the new lists that were starting playing the Fearless Pen. So if I'm tapped out and they drop Fearless Pen, I cannot answer it, and everything gets double strike, so they can attack because they're not skillless anymore. Yeah, don't want to do that. So I cut it down to 2 now. These are the 2 cards that I was quite not sure about it. Gone, we were discussing with the team, and we were expecting a lot of green, and I did face a lot of green, so I was happy to put this. But this could have been the Chi-Chi. This could have been, there's the new sale that I got. So that could have been Chi-Chi. That could have been the sale that will make it like, this deck doesn't have barrier removal, right? And we really struggle for barrier removal. So this is so like of blanking a card in active mode, ignoring barrier, which that was the main thing. Because for example, the 4 drops in, the blocker barrier, blanking a certain point, blanking our chain can really damage it. And I think it's a bad card. The more I read it, the more I don't like it. You have to drop in activate battle, and to do the skill is an activate main. So your opponent has it, see it coming, and all they have to do is just comboing a Son Goku, and this guy will have to be combo as well. So it was a cute touch. But yeah, it's one day might be good, but at the moment I don't think it's good. So for barrier removal, we were going for the other 2 cards that were these 2. At the beginning was 2 of this, and then because we have Z energy on this deck, but because we rely on the triple strike and we need 7 dragons on the drop for that, I normally like stop Z charging when I'm around 4 Z energy. I don't need 7 Z energy, right, to do this one. So 4 energy is fine, because otherwise I don't have the dragons in the drop to warp. But this will be the barrier removal. This guy is up 2, and he KOs something ignoring barrier. So ignores something rest mode, ignoring barrier. If that card's got barrier, I can restand an energy. Or this one has an end monster. On play, KO something ignoring barrier, and then you got, the 30k
infinite attacker.
Yeah. Not really infinite. I think I can do like 3 attacks with it, because 4Z energy, drop 3, combo at every attack. You probably do 3 attacks really, but I mean, it's still good. But I don't think it suits this version of the deck. The control, absolutely, because you have loads of Z energy. But this version of the deck, as I said, I need dragons in the drop. So I don't want to have a stack of Z energy. I'm not going to do anything with that. So these are fine. At the end, as I said, I opted for Gohan. Could have been Frost as well, since now Zamasu is a thing. But we go aggro. We love Dormant because it doesn't negate the first attack. So it's a triple strike going in the first attack. So it doesn't matter if it's Dormant. I went for this one. I'm happy with it because I faced 3 Nameku and 1 green Vegito. So
a lot of green.
A lot of green, so I was happy with it. It came out very handy, especially on my top 16 matchup, because my opponent did Father and Son Solidarity twice, and both times I discarded Gohan. So I was like, sure, fine. Yeah, that's the battle card package, and then we've got the extra Nimbus, Release from Evil, Tyrannical Blow. This is mostly for the blue matchup of anyone that could have a very scary Unison. Blanking floodgates, essentially. Release from Evil and Nimbus don't think need any explanation. I went back and forth, 3 release and 2 Nimbus, again because we are aggro and we really only need Nimbus sort of late game, because if we can't kill them and we're starting to run out of steam, basically, that's when we need Nimbus. We don't need Nimbus turn 3, for example.
Yeah.
We need it for turn 4 onwards. So that's why at the beginning I was almost confident to run it F2, as long as I see it turn 4. A Release from Evil is just, if you go first against Kid Ku, you see it, and when they attack your leader, they don't want to awaken before, right? Because they want to go down to 4 lives, attack to draw, and then awaken, and you blank them, you blank the leader so they can't awaken on that swing. That's game. So they can scoop. There's nothing they can do. They just use everything. It's game. But if you see it against Kid Ku, late game, the Unison will never survive.
Yeah.
So it's a card that is dead in your hand, or you have to leave an energy up to use it, and to do what? To negate double strike 30k that still takes the damage. Like, there's not much value. That's why I went for, instead of 3 and 2, I went to 2 and 3. Really good card, and really good against green Vegito, the green Goku, because you can blank Unison so they don't get the markers. You can play, because it just said the attacking cards got skill negated, cannot withstand. So Nameku, for example, has got all those blockers that can withstand in active battle. Very happy with this. Fine with 2. I don't think I would change it. And Nimbus, yeah, that's it.
Nice. Well, did you have any specific like matchups that you wanted to chat about, like that you had throughout the day that were particularly tough, or?
So the run throughout the tournaments was being weird, because after I spent like probably half an hour saying that the deck is incredibly consistent, really insanely consistent, I've lost round 1 because I didn't see my Omega. So yeah, it happens. I went against a Pan starter deck. Won the dice roll, went first, happy with it. Absolutely, we've got this. And I haven't seen a single Omega until like turn 4, when all my little dragons were dead. And I was like, I can't play this card now, so what am I going to do with it? Yeah, it was just really, really bad start of the game. And the guy was just like, well, let's do pan things and just, swinging and stuff. And at that point, I was like, that was round 1. Good, bad timing. That was round 1. Lost it. So my resistance was already like terrible. So I was like, yeah, I need to win all the rest. And I went 7-1. So I went all the other side.
Takes a lot of mental fortitude to bounce back from round 1 losses like that.
Especially after you had the deck since September and you've been building on it, practicing. You sat down a Euro and you just lose the first game. I'm like, because the deck breaks. And you're just like, what am I going to do now? Well, side event it is. Well, we made it. We came back. And after that, I played Nameku 2. Then I play a Vegito deck. Then I play finally I started to, come closer to the high tables. Play a green Vegito, which that was a really, really good game. Shout out to the players. I can't remember his name now. But started first, Oceanus, meal 1. I meal my secret rare. Standard. And tap 1, play the ball, and my opponent uses the marker for the green counterplay, the Bujin. And so the ball goes to the drop. So I pass my turn with 5 cards in hand and nothing on the board, and I meal my secret rare. And then I didn't see my triple strike. And I won that game. Don't know how, but I won under the Uneasy Awakening rage, because when you know that you have to go for game, you can start charging the Z extra, the extra cards. And Nuova, the A-drop, carried that match because I dropped a Dragon Thunder on it, so it was 35, attacked twice, and then restored again. And yeah, I have no idea how I won. I went all in, and the guy was like, shook my hands. I was like, I screamed. I couldn't believe
I
it.
heard
Like,
you that round, yeah.
that was just an uphill battle since turn one. And yeah, but we made it. And then I played 2 Kitkus. And again, one went first, and I did my thing. So it was good. Opponent didn't see it coming. It was like 2 lives at 2 energy. It's like, sure. And the other one was, he went first, and what saved me was Dragon Thunder, pay the energy, blanking the waters, and just going in. My opponent didn't have enough combo power, so it was fine. And last match at Tapion, and blue is the scary colors for Shadow Dragons always, because they do have answers.
Yeah, they can do a lot during your turn.
They can do a lot, and yeah. Went first, opponent was down to 2 lives, regular. Was turn 2, they had 2 lives, and it took me up to turn 6 to kill them. They dropped Baby Hatch, they dropped 4D Magic, they dropped Defending Friends. I had Floggers and stuff. They were clearing my board every turn with the Tapion, with the A-drop and stuff like that. And yeah, blue's got answer. Blue, like, and that is Tapion. They only sit like at 12 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I saw only one Kotsukai that I had to fire at turn 3, which is not ideal. Because if you Kotsukai is a weak card, because obviously you have to pay 1 energy to go aggressive, but then you don't have the energy to go aggressive. So it depends when you drop it. I had to drop it turn 3 to fix my hand and make sure that my opponent didn't draw. But it didn't do much. And then I haven't seen the other one since. So yeah, it was at the bottom of my deck. But yeah, I took the W and was happy with it. Again, on paper is a very crazy deck, but there are answers obviously, and it's not that easy to win. You have to be able to know when to switch to the haste change to the Nova chain, when you can go in for a triple strike, when you don't have to do it, you have to save it the turn after. You just want to chip your opponent's resources away with 30k swings, for example. Is not a brain dead deck. So you have to be able to read the matchups and make sure that you know what to do. And then I made it to top 16. I came 5th on Swiss, which was not expecting after the round 1, but we made it. It only took me 1 loss, and my resistance was just rubbish. So another loss, and I was out top 16. So phew, we made it. Top 16, best of 3 against Namiko. And again, I can swing, I want to say easily, but I can swing through an easy awakening. Rage, you start Z-charging. Oh yeah, another good thing that I did on that matchup was on attack, I Z-charge a card, which was the Vegeta, and it went on my Z energy and I arrested its blocker. So I didn't have to use a secret ID. I could have kept that for any token negate. And you start like literally swinging for 30, 35k, not really using any cards from hand. And your opponent has to invest a lot of resources to stop you.
Yeah.
And it's a grindy game, especially against green, because they got so many floodgates. Namiko's got so many floodgates and blockers that, yeah. But won the first game, and then we didn't finish the second one. I was literally on my kill turn. Don't know if I got it because I had like 5-6 swings left, and I don't think he floodgated me. So probably wouldn't make anyway, but we had to finish it, so time was up. And then I went to top 8 against Ivan Carrillo. You know, he doesn't need any introductions.
I think he was your only loss, or one of your only losses in the regionals that you played the deck as well.
I didn't want to use this deck in regional for that reason, because the surprise factor means a lot to this deck.
Yeah.
Is people sit down, they see Nova, let me study cards for a control matchup, and it's not a control matchup. And so surprise factor is everything for this deck. And I went against him on the regional line, and I almost killed him there. Again, I milled the secret on that match with him, so I guess it's my thing. And so he saw the deck, and he had the answer for these matchups. And I lost 2-0 clean. We played both games, and he was higher seeds, so he went first, which hurts. Went first, second games, but it was still not enough. And he had the countermeasures, and
Beast
again,
of a player.
he was expecting, he knew what was coming.
Yeah.
So he had the answer, he knew what to side in and everything. So yeah, that was the end of my journey.
But overall, a top 8 finish. Absolutely amazing performance.
Yeah, I mean, no regrets. Very happy with the choice. As I said, I've been practicing with this deck since September. So.
Yeah. And it means you were, I believe, either the top Nuova or second highest placing Nuova in the whole event.
There were no, as far as I know, there were no Nuova on the top 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I am, because there were like what, Tsukiku, Zamazu, Launch Kaba, me, and Namiku, and maybe another Kiku. No, yeah, there were definitely. I don't think there were Novas. Pretty sure there were Novas.
Yeah. So confirmed the best Nuova list. You guys got to start net decking this one instead.
Oh, we'll see. It's all about surprise. So if everyone plays it, it's not cool anymore. So probably I'm going to change it to something else.
Of course.
Right.
We'll find a way to make set 10 sin work again.
Yeah. That, I told you, I'm telling you, it's one card away. One card away, making it better to Z charts, to use, better get more use of the Z deck, basically.
Yeah.
Without comboing the ball from the battle area, or a full cost for no reason, right? Like, it's one card away to be good, that deck.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Giovanni. Have you got any last minute shout outs you want to give before we close out?
Well, first of all, shout out to my team. You.
2-2.
Yeah. Peter, you, Ollie, Brad, for all the testing that we've done. We have really been grinding these few months, so
yeah.
I wouldn't be here without you guys. It's been really good. Obviously, my brother, another member of the team. Shout out to him. Got me into the game. Piece of my heart. And all the guys in the community. Master is still alive. We're still alive. Shout out to all the hermanos from Spain, all the Spanish team.
Of course.
And really good guys. Always good to see them here at the events.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they're gonna let us win and stop taking all the prizing. Maybe one day we'll see. The Italian community, the Master, Spaghetti Fighters, especially Marco, he helped me a lot testing against Kid Ku. And my girlfriend for being patient after all this month, even in testing. And yeah, and all the players, Dragon Ball in general, my opponents. So yeah.
Yeah, heard it here first, guys. Game's still live. We're going to be here kicking next year as well, and tearing it up again. But thank you everyone for watching. Thank you again, Gio, for joining me, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye.